All right, this is it.
Yeah, here we
Welcome,
go.
episode 1, first ever episode, CourtVision podcast. I'm your host, Slim.
And I'm the co-host Trey, and we have a busy episode today.
Busy, coming to you from a snowstorm.
Snowstorm. It's crazy out there
here in Toronto, man.
Yeah.
We trekked through mountains of snow.
to get
We had
here.
one day off.
One day off.
One
we
day
made
off,
it work.
snow came back. How's coming to get us?
Yeah.
Start a little bit about us.
Yeah.
Me and Trey, we share blood. We are cousins.
Yep.
Known each other since birth. Been talking basketball together since birth.
Long journey
Yeah.
we've been on. But started with the IBA, Internet Basketball League we ran for a few months. Internet. It was global.
Yeah,
It was
worldwide,
huge.
man.
100+ people in it. And
Australia,
yeah,
United States,
bro.
Canada.
yeah, that was a journey itself.
That was
But
wild.
man, I mean, yeah, we've been on the basketball platform in basketball in general, for pretty much our whole lives.
Since we started watching ball.
Yeah.
Playing ball, watching ball.
Yeah.
That podcast dreams.
Now we're
bringing
here.
it.
We've done
Doing
it.
a thing. Hey, you want to start? Trade
Yeah.
deadline moves?
Trade deadline,
Busiest trade line-
huge
trade
moves.
deadline in history.
Exactly. Okay, we'll start with the big one.
Big.
Luka to the Lakers for AD Max Christie.
Some other pieces no one cares about.
Yeah, no one cares about the rest.
And
Okay.
one first round pick. We care
One
about
first,
that.
only one first
One
round
first
pick.
round pick.
That's
Great.
insane.
What do you think?
Luka, minutes restriction. He hasn't played since Christmas Day. No one's expecting huge things from his first 2 games as a Laker. If you were, you're kind of I don't know, delusional because 24 minutes restriction, 15, 5 and 4, not horrible numbers. He's just settling in. How do you feel about it?
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
That came through. Called
Oh
you
my God.
instantly. That I'm sitting there. I'm playing MLB The Show. It's was it a Friday?
Oh,
Friday or
yeah,
Saturday?
Friday.
So one days I decided to stay in instead of going out. Sitting there playing MLB The Show.
Yeah.
Shams. Boom.
I thought it was fake.
Called
Those
you
parody
instantly?
accounts sometimes get notifications.
That's what
I
it looked
had to
like.
check it, and man,
Check the account.
I
was
saw
bad.
that. Yeah, that was
It
crazy.
was bad.
That was crazy.
Mind-blowing. You had athletes. What was it? Maxi was on there. Everyone was on there.
everyone was
saying,
there. Just
What's
what
going on?
question marks. No one knew it was real, and that's how crazy this trade was. Even Shams' real account, no one believed it. Everyone thought he was
Hey, just
hacked.
a retweet. Yes, this is
yes,
real.
this is real. That's
Yes, this is
crazy.
real. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is the biggest trade in the history of sports, to be honest. You got trades like Babe Ruth got moved.
Yeah.
That's back in the day.
I mean,
That
yeah,
is back in the day. This Luka modern NBA
yeah.
better
At
than the
age he
NBA ever.
is,
25 years old, top 3 to 5 player.
yeah,
I say top 3 player in the NBA.
been an MVP candidate for pretty much 3 years in a row,
Took his team to the finals last
Yeah.
year, conference finals
Insane.
before that.
and they traded him because of conditioning. Who knows?
Condition,
I mean,
man.
it's
I don't know.
crazy
You don't
work.
do that.
Yeah,
On the
you
other
don't.
side of the thing, though, AD's good. I felt he was disrespected throughout this all.
Oh yeah, I think the fact that it was Luka as the name that he
Yeah.
got moved for. I mean, obviously he's gotta get
Yeah.
underplayed a bit, but he still. I mean, that debut game, even in his short time in it, he played great.
He was going off.
It was
He
great.
was dominating.
Yeah, he
But now
was.
the Mavs make that trade, get rid of Luka, who was clearly almost back
Yeah.
before that trade happened.
Yeah.
You have Gafford down, you have Lively down, you have AD down,
The
Dwight
injuries
Powell down.
are kicking them like crazy right
But
now.
then that brings out the other piece they got, Max Christie. He's going off right now, 17, 5 and 4.
Yeah. I mean, that's insane production. And I love his opportunity. He's getting 35 minutes a game. And he's really solidifying himself as a good key rotational player and a playoff rotation for sure.
For sure. He's going to be valuable
Yeah,
for them
100%.
for a while.
100%.
I mean, in the long term, Lakers definitely won.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think everyone looking at it right now, it's any grade we give based on short term, it just doesn't matter because long term, they have Luka Doncic as 25-year-old superstar.
It might have would have changed a little bit if they got some first round picks.
100%.
You saw the report that started with the 2,
Yeah,
and Pelinka convinces Pelinka, man, he's the magician.
that's crazy. I mean, Nico Harrison, that guy's getting
They're
death
kicking the
threats.
Mavs fans
Yeah,
out the
that's
stadium with their
crazy.
signs and
That
stuff.
is crazy. But yeah, I mean, before his injury, Luka was averaging 27, 8 and 8, 35 minutes a game. Not his best year, but I mean, those
Luka-
numbers are.
Luka shows up when
numbers.
it matters.
Yeah, exactly.
So we don't care too much about the regular season.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, finals last year. But yeah, so what grade do you give them? The Mavs.
The Mavs? You want to start with? Mavs, I gave them a C-.
That's crazy. I gave them the exact same
You get
grade.
C-?
I gave C-.
Okay, I should realistically be a D.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think for this season, everyone healthy, they got better.
Yeah. I think
For a system wise, they got
yeah,
better.
for sure. They needed defenders, and I'm not saying move Luka for a defender,
Yeah.
but if you need a defender, they got a great one in Anthony Davis. Definitely a DPOI candidate.
Yeah.
And
But then
Yeah.
again, when you make a move like this, where your two best players are now 32 and 30,
Yeah.
and Kyrie and AD,
yeah,
you need to replenish your farm.
for sure.
And you get Max Christie as a guy, and a 2029. What is that? That kid's in grade 8 or 9 right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know. And what
Yeah.
about other side of the ball? What do you have the Lakers at?
Lakers. I put an A.
A?
I have A because obviously anything long term, this is the best move that could have ever been presented to them. The fact that they didn't even call the Mavs, the Mavs reached out to them, that's just insanity to me. And only one first given up.
Only first best.
So I'm giving an A.
I give A plus.
Yeah.
You get
There
Luka.
we
You
go.
get a 25-year-old generational
Yeah.
superstar,
Yeah.
face of the NBA potentially, with Victor and him.
Yeah. I mean, it really
Like,
takes a lot off LeBron
So much.
for like.
I honestly
anything.
think now I expect LeBron to play 2 more years.
Yeah, they're really taking a lot off his plate. He doesn't have to do
Before,
half
I
as
was
much
like,
offensively.
Maybe he's done after this
Yeah.
year. Now he can win a chip with his
He really
son
can. Yeah.
next season. Not
That-
this season.
Yeah, no.
They're not contenders
This
right
season.
now. After that Mark Williams fail,
Oh, yeah.
trade
We got to talk
trophy.
about that later.
But A plus.
Yeah. Overall. All right.
Next one.
Next big
De'Aaron
move.
Fox to the Spurs. Zach LaVine to the Kings.
Kings.
Bunch of bench pieces to the Bulls.
Yep.
Kings got some picks in there, but nothing really meaningful.
Yeah. I mean, I saw that Charlotte's first. I thought it was meaningful, and then
Heavily protected.
yeah, ends
don't
up being
get it.
2 seconds. So.
Nope.
It's not
And you know what?
relevant.
I saw something earlier today. They got a 2031 pick from someone, but their own 2031 pick.
Yeah.
The Spurs get to choose if they want to swap their pick with it or
Oh.
not. Yeah.
It's a pick.
So if the Kings are trash,
Yeah.
the Spurs can just take that.
The King. That's crazy.
Like, I don't really understand. Like, teams see like the Thunder.
Yeah.
They see like the Jazz. These
Yeah.
teams are stacking up on picks, and
Yeah.
they think, oh, let's just get picks.
Yeah.
Bridges got 5. Gobert got 4.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But
I
to
mean,
me, 2 like not unprotected, like lottery type
Yeah.
first round picks is way more valuable.
then just
than 5.
stacking up like
Like-
useless mid 20 picks.
How do you feel about De'Aaron Fox with
I mean,
Wemby?
I love the Spurs youth movement overall, even before Fox, and now that they have him, I mean, this is huge for them.
accelerates
Accelerates their
everything.
timeline so much, and honestly, I'm expecting a big push from them to close out after the All-Star break. I'm expecting right now they're the 12th seed. It's all really close in the West, so I'm expecting honestly like 8.
8.
I'm expecting 8. I'm saying 4-spot jump because there's so many pieces that were moved, and the break that they're about to make, I think, can be insane.
I mean, they have. I guess it's growing pains just
Yeah.
getting him,
Yeah,
but they have not been
yeah, they haven't.
that good.
Their first
with
what?
him.
I think they played 4 games, 3 games.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, 5.
5.
They played
Yeah.
5, and they are 2 and 3.
Yeah, I mean, we saw his almost game winner, De'Aaron Fox's almost game winner, just milliseconds off. But yeah, I mean, there's gonna be adjustment period. That's why I'm saying after the All-Star break, we'll see what happens.
I mean, they lost. They barely beat the Hawks.
Yeah,
That was before they blew up.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later. They lost to the Hornets by 1. They lost to the Magic by 1.
yeah,
Beat the Wizards by 10. And they lost to the Celtics by 13. But that game was a blowout, start to
yeah.
finish. Like, they closed it out at the end. Coming out the break, they have Suns, Pistons, Pelicans. They could go on a run.
yeah.
You're right.
That's what I'm saying. And the
Nets,
West, I mean, there's just so many moving pieces in the West. Anything can happen right now.
Yeah,
So
you
that's
see,
just my
like,
prediction.
Mavs down 4 guys.
Yeah.
Rockets dealing
Yeah.
with injuries.
Exactly.
Rockets
are
they're going down.
they're tanking hard
It's-
right now.
It's not looking good for them. But
Yeah,
Trailblazers had a good low run. I don't think that's
yeah.
serious.
That's
Warriors,
over
we'll
now.
get to them. Kings are above them. We'll
That's-
get to them.
Yeah, the
And
Kings,
Suns.
Suns. Yeah,
They could do it.
They can.
I think the
they
trade was more for the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Fox is going to get the extension from them. That's where he wanted to
Yeah.
go. So there's no reason
Yeah.
he doesn't.
There's interest
lock
there
himself in.
between both sides. So yeah.
But
it'll
I
work
think
out.
they need to. They have good pieces surrounding, but I think they put them together in the offseason and they make a trade for another guy.
Yeah,
Chris Paul, Fox can learn from him.
it's a
How he
big season
distributes
for
everything.
Chris.
Stephon Castle.
Yeah. Oh, Stephon Castle and yeah,
He's
this
going to
is
be bright for them.
This is great.
Other side, Levine to the Kings. What do you think about that one?
I mean, Levine to the Kings. I never liked all right, Levine DeMar reuniting. I didn't think it worked out that well the first time, so I'm just wondering why they're doing it again. The Kings, like, to make DeRozan happy or what? Like, I don't know what the play is here. I think the Bulls did it just to move off Levine, which I understand for them. Got some role players in return, but overall, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of this for the Kings, especially with the picks they got. I mean, I don't see much value for them.
I think it was kind of desperation.
Yeah, for sure, to get off Fox.
They have a great fan base, though.
Yeah,
they deserve to win, but
they're alive for sure.
I don't like that move for them. I mean, Levine, like we saw it already.
Yeah.
Sabonis, Vucevic, obviously there's a difference, but there's not much difference.
Yeah.
2 European offensive-minded bigs.
Yeah.
Sabonis can rebound more, but Vucevic can score better.
Yeah.
Not saying they're on the same level.
Yeah,
Sabonis is much better in my opinion, but you saw that with the Bulls already. You don't have a true guard on your team anymore. Malik Monk's running point. Malik Monk was supposed to be a score-first guard off the bench for them.
Off the bench. He's a
spark plug.
Literally
he's gone into
the year out in that role, and now
he subs into the starting lineup. His scoring numbers have dropped.
Yeah.
Assist numbers are going up, but he's taking less shots.
Yeah.
And you're giving them to DeRozan and Levine. Like,
it's sort of handicapping Monk just because you got Levine, and that's the sort of balance that they can't find right now. There's no guard there that can really truly facilitate for them. Like,
they drafted Devin Carter past offseason. We thought, okay, there's a backup. Keon Ellis, Devin Carter. That's scary defensive backcourt. I don't know. The Kings had too good. Last season was all right. The year before that looked very bright for them. I think, honestly, when they traded Fox, I think they moved Sabonis in the offseason.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to hold on to this anymore because I think they got really high off that 1 year.
Yeah.
That, I mean, they've soared really high that year, but ever since then, it's been mediocre play.
And what makes it worse is the top of the West keeps getting better and better.
And they've stagnated.
So they got worse.
Yeah, they got worse. Now they're worse,
trade. Like, there's no reason to keep trying to force what's not working, especially when you already have that example.
Yeah.
And the Bulls side, I hate it.
I can't even explain a Bulls side here. I think it was pure desperation.
Like, they had to.
They had to get Levine off.
But I think they did it 1 or 2 years too late.
I think, for sure. And I think the handling of it beyond this trade is what annoys me the most. Because they have time between this trade. They had around 2 days, 3 days from then to the deadline. And they moved none of the players they got back. Like, what sense is there in that?
Not even they didn't move none of the players they got back. They didn't move Vucevic.
Yeah.
They didn't move Lonzo Ball. They extended Lonzo Ball.
Him for 2.
The game after, that's value. Game after that trade deadline, they're starting 4 guards.
I saw that.
They're starting 4 guards.
Yeah, what? These lineups are insane.
If you're gonna trade someone, why would you trade him for 3 wings?
Yeah, honestly, I don't get the move. But what grades do you give these 3 teams in this deal?
Where do you want to start? Spurs. I went to A. I want to see how they fill out the rest of the roster. But Fox is really good.
Yeah, I think they can soar pretty high from this long term and short term.
I agree.
All right, Kings.
I went C.
C minus.
All right, same thing.
Yeah, pretty much same realm.
We know how it goes. I give a D minus.
D, I put D.
I hate how the Bulls handle
the handling is the biggest issue in all this, and we'll get to it more later. But
they did it with Levine. They did it with DeRozan.
Yeah.
Fumbling Vucevic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
mean,
really
Vucevic should not be there anymore, but whatever. I mean, D. That's why they got a D grade, right? Yeah. They're not making moves. Now, Butler. Butler to the Warriors.
Butler saga finally ends.
Man, this was dragged out to the furthest level it could be.
And I think it was a couple days before, they said Warriors are out.
Yeah, they announced it. And I'm like, man. And first of all, Shams, throughout this whole thing, has been catching stray after stray.
Yeah.
What was it? Jimmy Butler's agent swearing that he would never request out. 2 days or a week later, he goes on post game and I'm not happy playing basketball here.
It was just back and forth.
Yeah,
who's right?
Exactly.
The Warriors came out on top, but did they really come out on top?
It was a weird one.
I mean, what they
For
get?
me, it's a weird one.
Butler in 2 seconds. Well, it was a 5-team deal.
Yeah. I mean, we're not gonna.
Butler 2 second-round picks. Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, Schroeder, and a first. Yeah. Schroeder got rerouted from the Heat.
Poor guy,
man. And not only did they get Butler though.
Yeah.
They gave him a 2-year, $121 million extension.
Crazy.
At 35 years old.
Crazy. This is the most mind-boggling part for me.
Yeah.
2 years, $120 million, $60 million per year for Jimmy Butler.
At 37 years of age.
Yeah.
And a guy who's you've already seen his just his output drop year after year.
Yeah.
I've always said
ever since 2020, it's been a gradual decrease, and now we're paying him 2 more years. 120.
They say their excuse is he's a playoff performer.
Yeah.
Has he performed in the playoffs since the year they went to the finals? No.
There's
some injuries. It wasn't really his fault. But
there's been games, but anything like meaningful, big pushes, there hasn't been.
I don't like it. I think this, even worse than the Kings, is desperation from the Warriors.
Yeah.
I think this was the biggest move of desperation in the whole
They
NBA.
saw that everyone was telling them they had to do something. So they're just like, Jimmy Butler's available. Let's get it done.
Let's get him.
Let's get it done.
And we're willing to give you whatever you want
as
long as you come here. That's probably what it was at that point.
Yeah.
Suns were in talks like since it started, basically. Everyone thought he was going there. They gave Bradley Beal that no trade clause.
That no trade clause
changed the course of the NBA.
Yeah. I saw that's just the craziest no trade clause. This guy has held his own team hostage so many times. And that's the reason we are where we are right now.
Honestly, I think if the Suns did get him too, I think it was desperation as well.
Yeah.
But
I mean Butler for the Warriors, he's been performing.
He's been good.
21, 7-5. They have a 3-1 record. I mean, teams they beat weren't like that great, but
they lost the Mavs, super short-handed Mavs.
Yeah. But I mean, I think the biggest thing from this is like the surrounding people around Jimmy. Like Curry has been playing, I think all these games he's dropped around 25 plus.
He was going off.
And he's been going off.
He had a streak of
30 plus, 30 plus. Yeah. He's been going off. And I think Jimmy, like offensively, he doesn't alleviate. I mean, he does. He's a star. But like defensively is where he's really going to help them.
I think the whole idea of this from the Warriors is when Curry would go off the court, they had no one.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter, teams would just double, triple Curry.
Yeah.
And who's scoring for that team? Yeah. So they got Butler as that closer, that secondary guy to Curry. But doing that, they sacrificed everything else around it. That was
who is on that team?
Quinton Post is their starting center.
Do you see the thing? ESPN had unknown player listed on their game score. This is insane.
They just don't have Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield started the year great.
Yeah,
terrible now.
This is typical Buddy Hield.
Yeah, he does everything.
Introduces new team, great peak, and then just falls off a cliff.
He's a trickster.
Yeah.
Who else on the team? Podziemski. That guy.
I mean, this season has been
terrible. He's been playing better lately, but I don't know. And then on the other side thing, Wiggins, I love that pickup for the Heat.
Yeah, I mean, his introduction has been slow, but I mean, it's a great pickup. He's great defensively, just great all around. I like Kyle Anderson. I think he's a solid role player, and I feel like evaluating the Heat right after the trade, like they've been without Jimmy for a while now. Yeah. Like it's not even about the games they've played since he got traded. Before then, like he's been suspended for so long. Like,
so it's not like they're losing a player in this. They only traded Butler.
Exactly.
They're just adding to their team.
Yeah.
They also, in the 5-team trade, they picked up Davion Mitchell. Yeah. A great defensive.
That is a huge pickup.
Amazing pickup.
I love Davion Mitchell's defensive impact. I think he is. I don't know. He had this play where he got a turnover the other night, instantly ran back, chased down block on the other side. I didn't see that one. It was nuts, man. Electric. Like this guy.
They did good.
He really fits this Heat culture thing they got going on. The defensive impact is there.
And they offload a couple contracts to under tax and allows them to make some moves in the offseason.
Yeah.
And they picked up the Warriors' first round pick.
Yeah, that's big.
Where are the Warriors in the standings right now? Warriors are 10th.
Yeah.
That's a lottery pick right now.
That's a lottery pick.
So the Heat, you get Wiggins,
yeah,
who's under contract for a year after this, and then a player option, which I don't really see a reason as of right now why he'd decline.
Yeah.
You get Kyle Anderson, nice veteran presence, and you get that first round pick, this is, in my opinion, the deepest class in the last couple of years.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're getting potentially the 10th to 12th pick. You can pick up a nice
There's
piece.
Some solid. I think they got, for the way that this move happened, I think they got a solid return for everything that they had to deal with throughout it.
They could have got.
Yeah.
Warriors, what do you grade them?
I give them a C-.
I give them a C-.
Yeah.
Shame there.
Yeah. Heat. Where you go?
I got an A-.
I went B, and then, but also like just for all the drama and the build up to this and just getting it off, I think I went A-.
You went A-?
Yeah, I just went up one. But yeah, I mean, overall solid.
I think more of this one, time will tell.
Yeah, for
the instant reaction is just pure desperation.
Yeah.
All right, next one, our hometown team, Brandon Ingram to the Raptors for Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, and 2026 Indiana first-round pick.
Indiana.
And then Ingram also re-upped with the Raptors for 3 years, $120 million.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that one?
I think a big thing about this deal is revisiting the Siakam deal, because the pieces in this Indy first, Bruce Brown, these are all tied to Siakam's deal. And I think
Kelly's also tied.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So I think the way that this is tied in with all that, I think it's a solid restructuring for a team like the Raptors. They're trying to just make this retooling, rebuild thing just go a bit faster.
Yeah.
Try to get this done, make it so I feel like players like Brandon Ingram, they get lost in the shuffle when it's like a league where big stars are always being looked at, being moved. I think he's getting lost, and I think the Raptors really made a good deal picking him up.
Yeah, I mean, you see the Raptors, when we were healthy, we've been close with a lot of the top teams.
Yeah.
We're in game. We're not one piece away.
Yeah.
But one piece would elevate us so much.
For sure.
And BI is a perfect piece. He's a closer. He's a defensive guy, super long, super active on the defensive end. He can make shots at the end of the game, mid-range specialist.
Yeah.
He can stretch it out sometimes. He attacks the rim. So you have IQ, RJ, Ingram, Scotty, Jakob. That alone, there's not much money left to make other moves.
Yeah.
So I think what happens the offseason, one of IQ and RJ got to go.
RJ might have to be gone.
But
right now.
The Raptors also, this trade doesn't affect their tank too much.
Yeah, this year.
Ingram, so right when the trade happened, Bobby Webster or Darko said, we're going to try to get him some run so that we see how he fits with the team. Yeah. But then they introduced him the other day, his introductory press conference, and Darko goes, I don't know if he's going to play this year.
Yeah.
So they're going fully into that tanking. Yak has been out for a while. RJ just came back. IQ's been bouncing in and out of the lineup. Scotty's the mainstay right now, but I honestly, he hasn't been playing that good lately, but I think he's playing through an injury.
Yeah.
That's why.
I just feel like there's no rush for this Raptors team right now. There's absolutely zero reason to throw BI onto the floor. They have one of the best conditioning teams, medical teams in the NBA. I think give them an offseason, give them BI to, train, work with their staff. And I think next year is a dangerous year for Toronto if they make the right moves in the offseason.
I think we're in a great spot because not only do we have that 5-star lineup, our bench depth isn't bad. Jamal Shed's been great this year.
Yeah.
Kobe Walter's been playing amazing
recently.
Lately.
He's really picked up.
Ochai Agbaji, when he was in the starting line, he's shooting 40-something% from 3 earlier in the season. We have Ulrich Kamche stored. Who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting one of our. Mobo. Mobo's been amazing. Yeah. Grady Dick off the bench. We have a nice young man. Yeah. So those guys we don't even have to pay right now either. Yeah. So I think the draft, my perfect world, they go after the Duke center, Kamen Malauch.
Yeah.
They bring him in. And then from there, you're in a good spot where you don't have to make a move.
Yeah.
So you have all the leverage. It's not like one of these Butler situations or Fox where he wants out.
Yeah.
So you have no leverage. You don't have to trade RJ. You don't have to trade IQ.
Yeah.
But you still have team needs. So you can go around. We still have a little bit of money. We can sign a piece if we need here and there. Or we can give these guys even another year. Everyone's locked up for 2 more years. So you can do whatever you want. But I think RJ goes in the offseason.
Yeah. I just don't see a world where they should keep a player like Brandon Ingram and RJ
with Scotty as well too, because Scotty's been more mid-range reliant lately. All right, other side, Pelicans.
Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, and Indiana first. I think the main thing about this, obviously, for them is just getting BI off their team. He wanted out. They got him out. The return was they got a pick, and they'll just keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, overall. I think simply put, it is what it is.
Yeah, like for them.
I want to see the Hawks package though, because there's the Hawks and the Raptors in it to the end.
Yeah, that's
true. And then
true.
Ingram apparently chose Toronto, and how often does that happen?
That is the most rare thing I've ever seen. Man.
Yeah, the Raptors again. Back to the Raptors. They're not a team where players come in free agency. Like,
not at all.
We don't have any big signings in history.
Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder is a big one. Like DeMarre Carroll back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, we don't get players.
Yeah.
But what we do is we build. We did it with DeMar before and Lowry. Yeah. We built through trades.
Yep.
Traded DeMar for Kawhi. We drafted. We picked up Fred VanVleet, drafted Powell, drafted OG, drafted Siakam. This is how we build our team. I think this is kind of reminiscent. This build up to our last championship team. I think our next year team reminds me a lot of the 2020 team, the bubble year. Where we can make some noise.
That year was one of to see everyone take that jump from because everyone saw Kawhi his work ethic, what it took to be a winner, and then they just elevated their game the next year.
Yeah.
So as long as we, you know, can just get that winning culture, just build up throughout the next years, I think we're like really scary.
We're in a good spot.
Yeah.
Pelicans.
I mean, it's just
Bruce
a mad
Brown,
move for
he's
them.
gone after the year. They're not re-signing him. Kelly, I think Kelly has 1 or 2 more years.
Yeah, he has 2.
Kelly's Kelly, and then the Indiana first round pick, top 4 protected, and that could be like a 10 to 20 pick range.
Yeah, I bet.
We'll see what that gets.
Yeah, we'll see that.
All right, Pelicans. What do they get from you?
They got a B-.
I got them B- too.
Yeah, man.
And then the Raptors.
I put B.
You put a B?
B.
Okay, I went a little high. I did A-.
Okay.
But contingent on what we do after this.
Yeah.
Because this is my hometown team. I'm gonna be a little more high.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a little biased. But I'm also gonna be a little harder. I have to see some more from them.
Yeah, you have to just keep in mind that's what I'm saying. Future intention, what they're doing in the future, that's really what solidifies this deal for me. So B, I think, is a good place to start out and grow from there and fall.
I just want to say one thing. This trade specifically, I've noticed it over the years. This trade showed me Toronto sports media is the worst out of all cities.
Bro.
I've never seen reporters hate on their own employing teams. Like that team employs you. Your whole job is to write about them. All you do is just spread negativity about them. Now, this is your job. Like kids like me and you, when we hop on, we're on Twitter a lot.
Yeah.
We were on Twitter when we were younger.
Yeah.
That's what we're seeing. We're not following all these random accounts. We're following just the main reporters.
Yeah.
And all we're seeing is negativity about our own team. Like, what are you doing?
I mean, it's all just like, I don't know. No one seems to understand. Everyone just wants everything to be very straightforward. Like, this move is either to get 10 times better today or tank and trade like half the roster. I'm like, what is the reason to do any of this? What we did was a good move. It's making the process faster. It's not taking us completely out of it, but it's not digging us into a hole, right?
No.
It's a good spot to be. I just don't get what we're complaining about.
I think someone like Masai, who has a track record, maybe not the championship success, but the players that he develops, the way the teams he's created and how good they've turned out, these guys act like they know more than them. Like Bobby Webster's amazing. Masai is amazing at his job. Every team wants a GM like Masai.
Yeah.
You know, the Mavs want a GM like Masai. And then these reporters act like they just know more. And just it pisses me off.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
All right. Next trade. Cavs, Hawks. DeAndre Hunter for Karis LeVert, Georges Niang, 3 second-round picks and 2 pick swaps. How do you feel?
Okay, well, the pick swaps, I mean, they're just going to end up being their own picks. Cavs are going to have their own picks. Seconds are seconds. I think Hunter for the Cavs is huge. I think a big defensive wing like Hunter is what they needed. Their wing depth before was very mediocre. It was meh. This is he's averaging 20, like around 18.8, 20 a game. Like, this is a huge pickup for them.
Year. He's under contract for 2 more years.
Yeah, his
contract.
contract.
Like they have to worry about paying him.
Super contender friendly.
Super. I'd say not even just this year, even last year, all the talks were Cavs need a wing. Cavs need a wing. They need a guy. They had Isaac Coro starting. Max Strus is good. No disrespect to him.
Yeah, for sure.
He cooked our Raptors the other day. But DeAndre Hunter, big upgrade. Exactly what they needed. And in my opinion, they didn't give up too much. Karis LeVert, I think he's an expiring contract. So he doesn't even it doesn't matter. They probably weren't going to re-sign him anyways. They have to hand out extensions to other guys, pick up other pieces. Hunter, now you have him locked in for 2 more years. This core, they can go places.
For sure.
Now, before it was like maybe this might just be a this year, next year thing. Then Donovan Mitchell might want to leave.
Yeah.
Now you can keep it going. You keep it going.
For sure.
And LeVert, on the Hawks side, he's whatever. I mean, offensive talent. You can
I just don't understand their whole situation right now. What the Hawks are doing, like, I just don't. They're just in, like, when people are confused about the Raptors, this is how I feel about the Hawks. They're just in such a weird place. They have Trae Young, who, I mean, just can't stop talking about being snubbed, but I mean, he made it now, but whatever, good for him. And then, just overall, they have like a mix of young talent, and then they pick up LeVert, and then they trade Bogdanovich for Bones Highland
and Terrence Mann.
Yeah, and Terrence Mann. So I just don't understand where they are right now, like mentally, what's going on in the front office. But
the most confusing part of it all to me was they don't own their first round pick this year.
Yeah.
The Spurs have it.
Yeah.
From the DeJounte Murray trade, another bad move they made. So why would you blow it up in the middle of the season when you're already not doing good instead of just waiting to the offseason and trading these guys that are still under contract? their value wouldn't drop that much.
No.
Hunter was in a career year. He's probably going to keep that up.
Yeah.
They move Capella. Like, they have Capella. They have Okongwu. Like, they replace the guys they traded away with, like, lesser versions of that.
Exactly.
Like, you know, mom says we have McDonald's at home.
Yeah.
Like, it's that kind of thing. Like, they brought in, they got rid of Bogey. They brought in Karis LeVert. Like, actually, they're kind of on the same, but, like, LeVert's expiring.
Yeah.
I don't understand. 3 second-round picks. They can use that later. George is kneeing. He's whatever.
So what do you look at for the Cavs grade?
Loved it. I give them an A.
I give them A minus. Same. I mean, it's a huge move for them. I think it just like helps them overall. DeAndre Hunter is just such a good overall player to have. Any team would want a player with that mold.
Fits in.
And he fits in perfectly.
And Hawks?
I just didn't understand that. I give him a D plus.
I gave him a B minus.
B minus.
Just because I think that they can. I was in between a C plus and a B minus.
Okay.
Because I think there's different ways they can go from this trade. Mixing in with the Terrence Mann trade.
Yeah.
I think, they were stupid, but it gives them options moving forward.
Yeah.
They were also dealt a couple bad hands over the years. AJ Griffin just retiring quick.
Yeah,
and, like,
I mean, that was unfortunate.
I don't know.
Unfortunate.
But I think also this gives them opportunity. This trade might be a signal to Trae Young.
Yeah,
your time might be over.
For sure. I don't
So they can get a max.
If they've had that conversation with him yet, the front office, but I think he should start looking into himself.
I'd be pissed.
Because like they're just the moves they're making are either linear, staying stagnant, or just slight decreases. I just don't see why he would want to stay.
I think they need to fully blow up.
Yeah,
just like blow it up. Just reset. Yeah, Cavs. I didn't believe in them. I believe in them now.
Yeah,
conference finals at least. I'd say.
Yeah, 44-10. I mean, it's not a record to play around with.
No. All right, our last one we'll go through. Bucks Wizards.
Yeah, Kuzma Middleton.
Plus a couple other pieces. Like, how do you feel?
I think for the Bucks, it's something to just shake it up. I think they just needed to make a move to make a move. And, you know, Chris Middleton this year, he's been declining every year. And they bring in a younger player like Kuzma, who, I mean, on the Wizards, he's had definitely ups and downs. But, it's just a restructuring for me. Like that, I think.
He was injured a lot this year, too.
Yeah, he was.
He wasn't doing too much all year.
Yeah.
I understand it. I'm not going to lie. But I don't think I would have done it at the same time. Middleton, I would have more respect for him.
Yeah.
As an organization than to trade him. So he was going to retire. He was contemplating retirement after last season. They convinced him to come back. Yeah. And then you use him as your scapegoat kind of thing when there's so much more wrong with your roster. Yeah. Like ownership, they make all these other moves. They pay a bunch of guys when they shouldn't be paying them, and they just stick themselves in bad spots. Yeah. And on top of that, you trade A.J. Johnson to the Wizards, who you wasted a first-round pick on a couple years ago. The guy was averaging 2.1 points in the Australian League. Yeah. And you drafted him in the first round with your pick. And then on top of that, you give him a 2028 first-round pick when 2028, Dame is mid-high 30s. Yeah. Giannis is mid-30s. Yeah. Kuzma will probably be gone. Kuzma has 3 more years on his contract, but I don't know. Portis, mid-30s. Brook Lopez probably retired. So that pick was extremely valuable to you for your rebuild.
Yeah.
And you trade it for Kyle Kuzma.
The Bucks are just a team that for the past, I think, 3 years have had no future to rely on. And I think they're just digging themselves into a whole AJ Johnson. I mean, and a first, what is going on here? They're just digging themselves into a hole in the future. And Giannis and Middleton, they're like brothers. They are together for so long. Since since
Giannis came.
Since 2013, yeah. So, man, Giannis, they're just giving him more and more of a reason to just kind of disconnect from the franchise.
So that's funny to me because I think they made this move out of desperation, trying to keep Giannis around. But while doing that, they're starting to push him away.
I think
you trade his best friend.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really understand this. Wizards, though, I love this for them, this movement. They got rid of a couple of their guys, took on vet contracts. Yeah. But they're getting first-round picks. Like Marcus Smart, Chris Middleton, great guys. Yeah. Great locker room guys. Yeah, for sure. And they got first-round picks and a couple young talents to just sprinkle and grow.
It's good development for them.
A great move for them.
And, the picks, I mean, as long as they're getting picks, building up a future, I think there's no reason for them to be complaining. And moving off Kuzma, I mean, Kuzma obviously was going to be out anyway, so I think it's fine for them.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be realistic with yourself. You know who the contenders are, you know who isn't.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can make moves to try to get there. But the bottom feeder teams like the Wizards,
Yeah.
it's good on them. They know they're not ready.
Sure.
They're not forcing anything right now. I think they have a decent amount of picks too, stacked up. Yeah, and I like this move for them.
It's just helping them grow that treasure chest of picks. So yeah. So
right, Bucks, I gave them a B-.
I gave him a C.
I think Kuzma is impactful.
Yeah, he's still a good player, solid piece to have. And I mean, anything we've seen from them right now, Giannis is out, so it doesn't really matter. What about Wizards?
Wizards, I was in the middle, but I gave them a B+.
B+, yeah. B+.
I like that move for them.
Solid moves all around.
So this leads us into our the winners and the losers of the trade deadline.
This is
let's just go
one by one.
One by one.
Yeah.
And then or do you want to just share your whole list?
I think we do one by one. One by one winners.
You can go first.
Okay, my first winner was, we already touched on this a bit, Max Christie. I just think that the opportunity he's getting right now is really going to pay off for him. And honestly, just the environment, like we saw on his introductory press conference, no one asked him anything. AD's like, oh, go ask my guy a question. But I think the fact that he's not in LA, in a place where, you know, LeBron, big names always all around, lights like shining bright, like I think this is good for him, as in it's still a relevant team. Still, Dallas is still a great team, and he's still getting this opportunity just with, like, you know, a little step back in pressure, and he can play how he needs to play, like have his off night, even though he hasn't since being in Dallas.
He's been great.
But, you know, have his off night and still can perform routinely.
Yeah, I somewhat agree with that. I wouldn't call him a big winner, but just because of the amount of injuries they have right now, so that's why his role's kind of enhanced. But he is making the most, winning the fan base, getting the fan base on his side. I like that. My number one winners, Cleveland Cavaliers. Yeah, I just love that winner move for them.
Yeah,
like we touched on that already. They did exactly what they needed to do this offseason. Sure. I mean, this trade deadline. Didn't lose a lot.
Not at all.
They got better. They got much better. And that's what you're supposed to. They recognize that their window's now. Mobley breakout year. Garland big bounce back year. All-star season. Donovan Mitchell, a lot less pressure on him.
Yeah, he just does his thing every night, you know. Like some nights will be, you know, less shots, but like nights that he can go off, he really goes off.
They have 5 guys now that can give you 20, 25 on any given night. And like Jared Allen won't create it for himself. Yeah. But he's had some monster games this year. For sure.
Evan Mobley, I mean, huge games for him.
Big breakout year for him.
Yeah, great for him.
Scotty is better, though. Scotty's better. All right, who's your number 2?
Number 2, I'm just really big on this Spurs team. And so that's my number 2 winner. The San Antonio Spurs, I think this is not even like Fox, major acquisition for them. And I think just the way that they've retooled, like from Zach Collins, who was having, obviously Wemby's going to break out. Zach Collins going to take a major step back. So yeah, I think the way that they're utilizing their, you know, role players into expanding into De'Aaron Fox, like a talented player like that, I think it's huge for them. And as I said, I'm expecting a huge push for that, like from them for this year, even though most people might not, but I am.
I also had the Spurs at number 2.
Yeah, nice.
They're setting themselves up for a nice future, man. Yeah. They got not a lot of nice young pieces. Yeah. De'Aaron Fox, he's good right now.
Yeah.
Wemby, he's good right now. CP3, great locker room guy to have around. Vassell, we've seen Vassell average 20 before.
Yeah.
Keldon Johnson, we've seen him average 17 before. Castle, rookie of the year front runner right now. They're good, man. I like them. I like their squad. All right, your final winner.
My final winner is Brandon Ingram. The way that he was able to, you know, come out of this whole New Orleans mess with a place he wanted to go, that's been reported, Toronto, and signing a $40 million a year extension.
Lucrative contract.
I mean, that's huge for him. I think he's a big winner from all this. And, you know, like, I think the opportunity he can have in Toronto is huge. Yeah. The pieces like Scotty, like quick, like this Pirtle, like even someone like Jakob Pirtle, he mentioned him by name as
multiple times.
Exactly. This is like a player who no fans really think of, like, oh, I'd go to a team for Jakob Pirtle. Yeah. No one expects that, but BI shouting him out, that's huge. Like role players like that are huge in the NBA.
Yeah, I think he really believes in the vision of the Raptors. He knew he wanted to come here.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a matter of, only these 2 teams want you. pick them. I like pick one.
Yeah.
I think it was also
there's other suitors
I like
for
the
sure.
Raptors.
Yeah.
Like I want to go to a team like that. I actually had the Raptors in my just off the list.
Oh,
I had them in my 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Honorable mention. I had the Raptors.
Yeah.
I love the Ingram move for them. But my final winner was Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
You're getting $60 million at 37 years old. You left somewhere you didn't want to be.
Yeah.
You went to somewhere you want to be, I guess.
Yeah.
I hope so. He seems happy on the court.
Yeah.
And you're getting paid $60 million for the next 3 years.
I mean, who wouldn't take this?
He told the team, I don't want to be here. Trade me. I'm not playing in the games. He left shoot around. He missed team planes. He's doing everything on purpose.
Yeah,
He's posting videos on social media, making fun of the whole situation.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm jobless. I can't pay for my coffee.
This is how you treat your employees. He said to that one guy. That's nuts.
And you come out of it like that.
Yeah.
You're definitely a winner. You're
$120 million richer.
Like,
so huge
good
for him. Yeah.
And he went to San Francisco, a nice spot.
Beautiful
It's not
city.
like he went from Miami to Portland.
Yeah.
Something like that. No respect to Portland, but
he's
a big winner.
The whole saga was really confusing overall, but big winner for him. I mean, the way that he ended up, reports, the thing about these reports with like Jimmy's move, they were all over the place. Reports saying he wants out, then like next day reports like he might not want out immediately, and then a report saying he doesn't want Golden State, and then now he's in Golden State and he seems happy.
Yeah, he seemed really happy.
So it's all been a confusing saga for them, but overall,
he came out on top. That's all I know.
Yeah.
All right, losers. Your number one loser.
My number one loser is Dalton Connect. The way that this whole thing has unraveled for him. And first of all, he obviously, any Laker doesn't really want to go. And when he went, he fully expected a change. That we saw Charlotte's GM talking about how they wanted to draft him.
Yeah.
They didn't end up, but like they wanted to. They were big on his potential. And I feel like it was a new chance for him. Just like he started slowing down heavily ever since the beginning of the year. And to have that just like a rug pulled out from under you, like he just right back, you saw him like chewing gum, like seemed so disinterested the whole Lakers game.
He played there last game, right? How did he do?
Yeah, I actually don't know. But overall, I just think it's just a bit of a loss for him just because like the way that the whole thing unraveled. And overall, the Lakers just not acquiring that centerpiece
hurts him.
It's tough for sure.
Yeah, he had 10 points last game.
Okay.
He played 17 minutes. I am a volunteer. I am a Tennessee Volunteer fan. March Madness rolls around.
Yeah.
I sit in front of my TV. Not even March Madness, conference championships, all that.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in front of my TV. I'm watching every single Tennessee game.
Damn.
You go through my Twitter to the time of the draft last season.
Yeah.
I told the Raptors draft Dalton Connect. I said it over and over. This is a guy I want on my team. I'm super high on him. I don't care about his age. He's a baller. He's a bucket getter.
Yeah.
I was excited for him to go to Charlotte, somewhere he could showcase a little bit around LaMelo, Brandon Miller.
What a team.
That would have been a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
And then he gets that all ripped away from him.
It's unfortunate.
Lose opportunity. He has to sit on the Lakers bench on a team that is going to get criticized a lot for the rest of the season. I believe, they got Luka, but now there's going to be expectations that come with LeBron and Luka.
For sure.
I don't think they live up to any of those expectations.
Yeah. First year, for sure. I don't think they meet those. The way that overall for them, the Mark Williams whole thing sorted out for them. It's just unfortunate. Like they got their center. Everyone was like, okay, now they're starting to look like a serious threat. Yeah. And then boom, it's gone.
My number one loser, the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, I have them later on in the list.
The Bulls, man. I just don't understand that franchise. I don't even want we talked about earlier.
Yeah, we
terribly run franchise.
It's just horrible the way that they dealt with all things. And that kind of leads into my second loser. It should be selling teams. The Bulls, the Jazz, and the Pelicans. These three teams, first of all, Bulls, their role player moves that they didn't make, first of all. And Vucevic, I don't know what that was. The Jazz, they just have so many pieces. Colin Sexton, who's been playing good basketball. John Collins. Laurie's not going anywhere, but, just players like that, solid players, and none of them moved for nothing. They still got, their own picks and found ways to get into deals. Every deal, Danny Ainge was just somehow involved. Got Jalen Hood-Schifino, just got tossed in there, just random stuff. But yeah, and then the Pels. I feel like they just could have made. I felt like it was time for a Zion move. Mm-hmm. I feel like the way that this whole season was turning out, they were talking a big game earlier. They're doing a full like sweeping of the house. Like everything's gone. They said that around like I don't know, like 2 months ago, and now the only piece that is gone is BI.
Yeah,
and I just don't get it for them. I just think
to be honest, they had a very unfortunate season, all these injuries. Oh, yeah, but they have had one of the worst, like doctor staff, I guess. I don't know what it's called in the league for a while.
Staff,
medical staff.
It's tough, man.
I don't know, DeJounte Murray, like just
that move overall has been
poor guy injured twice in the same year. Like CJ McCollum, that move should have never happened. He's not good at basketball anymore.
Something's going on in New Orleans.
They got BI, Zion. I don't know. I like Zion. I think they could have given one more. What they tried to do is they tried to just bring a bunch of pieces together.
Yeah.
They didn't pick which guy's their guy and build around that guy. So I think now what they should be doing, Trey Murphy's breaking out. Herb Jones is out for the year, but we know what Herb Jones is capable of.
Great talent.
They got rid of Dyson Daniels, who would have been great for their squad this year. I think they should start building around Zion. Yeah. Instead of trading him, I think they build around him. They pick a guy, one of these guys on the roster, and they build around him. They go into this rebuild that's moving CJ, even though he makes too much. I don't even know if you can move him.
Yeah, I mean, his contract's massively inflated, honestly. I don't. Yeah.
All right. My number 2 loser should really be my number 1 loser, but in the end of all things, he's still an NBA player getting paid millions to do his job. Dennis Schroeder. that quote he had.
Dennis Schroeder. Oh my God, man.
That quote he had calling what he said the trade deadlines modern
slavery, bro. Like, that's just such an insane thing to say. You're getting paid millions of dollars, and then not only do you get moved once, and he gets moved again like 3 days later.
And then he gets moved again.
Yeah.
3 times.
Oh my God.
Well, in this season, I think he's been moved 4 or 5 times now, right?
Yeah.
Started with the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
Went to the Warriors.
Yeah.
Then he got moved to the Heat, moved to the Jazz, moved to the Pistons.
Wow.
5 teams.
Wow. 5 teams
he's had
in
5 teams in 1 year, and he's calling it modern slavery. It was funny because he called it modern slavery, and the next day he got moved. 3 teams. Yeah. So he's my big loser. He ended up in Detroit, which isn't a bad situation.
Yeah.
But public eye doesn't like him anymore.
Yeah.
He's like,
I know.
Yeah, he's always been a big talker.
Yeah, I mean, Brooklyn was, he was playing great out there, and then moved to the Warriors.
He's a Raptor for a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't like him on the Raptors, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither, but.
All right, my final loser, the Golden State Warriors. I had Butler as a winner.
Yep.
Warriors as a loser. Yep. Pure desperation, locking up all that money. You're paying 2 guys who are above 35 in the next 2 years, like 120 million combined or something.
Yeah, per year, yeah.
And you expect to win? You don't have any young Kuminga. But Kuminga comes out every year saying, "Oh, I hate the coach, I hate the team, this, that," asking for more minutes and all that.
Yeah.
What are you kind of expecting there? Curry's 36. Curry's even older. And I saw a report earlier today where he said he's considering retirement more and more every day. So I don't know. I don't know where they go. Like, I don't know how they got to convince themselves to do that. Draymond Green.
I mean, there's just not much to talk about with the Warriors. Like, what they did was obviously pure desperation. They just needed to make a move, and people wanted them to make a move. We saw them in Kevin Durant sweepstakes. He had no interest in being there. He's just like, nah, I'm not going. So, I mean, I understand why he said it. I wouldn't want to be back there if I was him either. Overall, I had them too as my number 3 loser, and overall, I mean, Jimmy's getting paid 120. Curry's making 60 mil a year too. Yeah. It's just
I wish they would have gone after someone more like Ingram.
Yeah,
more like a Hunter Ingram type guy, where it's not fully a ceiling raiser.
Yeah,
it's definitely a floor raiser, but it allows you to have more flexibility.
Yeah,
and just piece guys together. Guys who fit with Curry, guys who fit around Draymond, Kuminga, who can still play their games, give you 25. Like, I don't think they should have, like, they kind of had to get a star in their minds. They had to get a star. I don't agree with it at all. So they were my final losers.
Yeah. All right, man. This has been
good first episode.
Yeah, great first episode, honestly.
Feel good.
Yeah. Lots to talk about. I mean, next episode, there's what are we thinking?
Next episode we'll go through midseason awards, star ranking final.
Yeah. I mean, All-Star game coming up.
All-Star game, we'll talk about that a little bit.
I mean, the format.
Do you understand the new format?
No.
I don't really know what goes on.
The team rookies the team that just won in the Rising Stars game, the tournament, now they're playing LeBron, KD, Curry, Tatum.
I saw,
how is that gonna work out?
Well, the G Leaguers almost won.
Yeah, they were in the
Like,
finals. Like,
and last year the G Leaguers did really well.
What is this format?
You know what I saw? Dalton Connect. He's getting interviewed. I'm super excited to play LeBron. There's gonna be fun. This that. So that's gonna be fun. He's mad, man.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
That's tough for him.
Yeah, slam dunk. Who you got?
Huh?
Prediction.
Oh, slam dunk. I think Mac McClung 3-peat. 3-peat.
Stephon Castle. I think Modest Buzelis is a dark horse.
Oh, for sure.
He'd be second in my thing.
Crazy hops.
And who's in the 3-point contest? I see. The All-Star Week sucks now that we don't even know who's in this stuff. Brunson, Cade, Tyler Hero,
Norman
Garland,
Powell.
Buddy Hield. Oh, All-Star snub.
Powell.
I'm just gonna say that All-Star.
What a guy.
I'm going with Darius Garland.
Darius Garland?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a solid pick. Honestly, I don't see. I mean, yeah, I might go, but Damian Lillard. I mean, he's done it before. He's a safe guy, safe pick. But I won't be surprised if we see like a Tyler Hero win.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's probably my second guy.
Yeah,
I think I remember Cat won it the 1 year.
That was.
You never know who's gonna win. But my big prediction: Jalen Brunson scores less than 13 points in
less than
13.
I don't like him. I have a bad history of when role players go into, not role players, but like, you know, borderline all-stars go into a 3-point contest and then they just underperform pretty bad. So I don't know. I'm scared for Norman Powell. I just don't want him to put up like a 5.
Yeah.
The pressure is there. He's just.
It's just Lowry did it the 1 year. Yeah, he put up like 9 or something.
Yeah, and Fred, I mean, when he was there, I think he put up like 11. So I mean, just these performance. Let's just hope not again.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll talk about it. Next episode. That's it. Episode 1. I like it. Courtside Vision pod _ on all platforms.
Yeah.
We're releasing clips soon. Full podcast will be on YouTube. Our own personal socials are plugged throughout.
Yep.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next episode.
We're out.